Okay, and we're back again. Welcome, Waterloadable episode 56, I think. This is going to be focusing on the Whyte. So I've already test fitted the motor on the Patriot, which you'll see in a later video. So now I'm going to go ahead and firm fit it on the Whyte. I'm going to loop the crank and the bottom bracket from the Whyte to go on the orange, just for temporary, and remove the front mech, and yeah, get that all fixed. So yeah, I'll see how we go. It's about mid-afternoon. It is really hot today. Excuse me. I think what I'll do to start with is turn the bike round, get off the crank from the other side, bottom bracket cut, flip it, do the same, and I'll show you all the tools which I'll use to do that with, because I've already shown you that in a video which you've not seen yet. So yeah, bear with me a sec. Okay, sorry, you're gonna have to work with me on the shadow, but yeah, I've already cracked that 8mm Allen key. There's hardly any torque behind that, and then once I got this out, then I can use the bottom bracket puller. So this outer sleeve screws into the crank thread here, and then you wind it in, and this protrudes and then pops it off of the bottom bracket, because although that's bolted on, it is kind of like a tapered interference fit. So let's just wind this in. Whoa, sorry. There we go. Cool. Okay, so that's in nice and tight now, and then we'll do this. Does it come off that easy? No. Okay, so I'm probably going to need two hands now, but that's the process for using a bottom bracket tool, and then I'll show you the crank extractor, and then I'll show you the bottom bracket tool in just a sec. Oh, one crank off, and now for the bottom bracket tool, which is a spline tool which goes in there. This side is a normal rotation. The other side is an opposite thread, because I've already wasted lots of time over tightening that before realising earlier on the Patriot. So I'll get this cup out, flip it round, and then do the other side. And looking at it, I think I'm going to have to split the chain in order to get the derailleur off. Sometimes there's a little bolt on there that you can undo, but it doesn't look like it on that one, so we'll worry about that in a minute. But oh boy, it's hot. So yeah, we'll see how far we get. Okay, so crank and bottom bracket out, and all fitted on the Patriot as a temporary, and nice to get the original pedals back with it as well. So now I've got to work out what to do with the chain. Hopefully there's a split link. If not, I'll go and grab my chain tool and we'll pop out a link so that we can get the front mech off. That's that one, and then we can start to put on the motor assembly. So chain, I did have to use the chain tool, there wasn't a split link. That's that little nutcracker type thing there. So that's all good. Now I'm ready to fit the motor, so I'll get that in approximately, and then I'll show you the mountings a little bit more detail, and I'll show you how all that works. Okay, so you won't see it once it's on. It comes with a selection of these shims. There's like two thinner ones and one thicker one. Having fitted it, the teeth were pretty close to the chainstay, so excuse me, I'm just going to put the thicker one in. I'm going to have a play with this, because this doesn't seem to line up with the rest of the frame, but we'll have a look at that once we got this a little bit more on the bike. Okay, that's kind of loosely fit now. I haven't done the main ring that goes around here, but I have kind of cinched down these bolts. It does come with some spacers to go in there, but that distance is too big even for two spacers on top of each other, so I've left them out. I'm now going to get this rear clamp kind of thing sorted. I think I might have to invert it compared to how it was, or flip it around or something, try and make it work, and then that will clamp through the chainstay, I think, to stop it twisting. Once I've got that kind of settled, then I'll come back and do up the other side of here. Cool. Okay, so got the kind of support, I guess, in the focus. Got the support bolt in the back. I kept this in a bit loose, got that all tight, and now that that's kind of settled, I've now got that tight. So now I'm going to put on the ring. Once I've got the ring tight, then I'm going to come back and cinch these 2 bolts and then get the crank on. And then for the most part, the motor's actually in. Then I just need to think about the wiring going up to the handlebars and all the other stuff. Cool, that's the motor all in now. And then I've routed the cables round, and I've just put 1 tie on there for now to keep them nice and out of the way. I think that's the best way to do it. The whole kit came with 2 zip ties, but fortunately we've got plenty. So I'm going to get the chain on now, get the cranks on, and then flip it back up, because I think we're done with having it upside down, and then we can start to think about wiring and all of that jazz. Okay, a couple of issues so far is the chain alignment. Yeah, you can kind of make it out there. I think what I'm going to have to do is take out that assembly again and get rid of that thick one. And this was the gap that I was trying to increase. But I guess if it's missing, it's missing. That alignment is too crooked. And I think that the chain might come off quite easy. And this is going to be for Rupert, like I said, my son. So I don't want it to be doing that. Also struggling to get the pedals in. It almost feels like these are wonky, because as soon as it starts to bite and go in, the pedal looks wonky. So I don't know about that, but we'll come back to that in a bit. So yeah, unfortunately I need to do a little bit of rewinding. I could probably cut that zip tie. I don't need to take this crank off, but I do the other side. I'll meet you back here in a bit when I've done that. Okay, so that's all corrected. And the reason why the pedals are being funny is I had the cranks the wrong way around. So yeah, they do have an L and an R on them, and I totally overlooked that. So yeah, although the chain looks a bit of a angle here, that doesn't matter so much, because that's where it's coming off of the crank. But it will be a lot better now up the front. So yeah, I'm going to flip it over, I think mount the battery, get some more zip ties, and then have a look at the manual and kind of see what it says to do next. But yeah, very happy so far. Okay, back upright, happy with everything so far. Now to think about the wiring. This one with the XC60, that's the power for the battery. And we got this multi-pin one, and it comes with a breakout lead. So multi-pin at this end, and then we're going to route it up with the hydraulic hose up to there. And then it splits off for 1 for display, 2 for brake sensors, and 1 for the throttle, but not planning to use the throttle. And I'm not really sure what this one is. This might be a extra speed input, but it's already capped off, so unsure, but not planning to use that anyway. So yeah, gonna get this main long one in first, get the display mounted. I'm going to look at the brake sensors today. I might not bother, I might do that later, because I'm quite keen to go out and ride it. So yeah, get that main one in, and then I'm going to put in the battery, and we'll work out what to do with all this extra cable. So yeah. Okay, happy with that. It's all routed, tied up, and then got the brake out here. Looks to be color coded. Yep. So I'm going to mount the display now around about here. That's the throttle, which I'm not going to use, but there's also this, and I'm not actually sure what this is. This has got a half moon 6-pin, and none of those are that. So yeah, unsure what that is. Maybe that's to do with the battery. I'll come back to that, but in the meantime I'm going to get this mounted. Looks to be like a 2mm or a 2.5mm. Get that all done, then we can start thinking about battery, and then this one's pretty much done, which is really pleasing. Yeah, almost there. Okay, so yeah, I did have to race ahead a little bit because my phone battery went flat. Got the display all mounted, happy with the cable routing. batteries all mounted. There is like a tray in here which it slots on, which goes on your standard water bottle mount. So that's all on. It is quite heavy, but that's to be expected, I guess. And then to turn it all on, it seems you turn it on here. This little button here is like a little battery level check. And then if we come up here, there's an on button on the side of the display. So yeah, I've got a feeling this might be upside down, but I'm going to take it out for a ride now and just see how it is. Haven't mounted the brake sensors yet. I'm going to read a bit more onto them, and I might do that when I get back. But I'm not sure where I could put the magnet. Yeah, either way, I want to go and test ride it because it's all safe to ride. Woo! Alright, once I worked out how to turn that on, that was amazing. Might be flickering a bit on the video. If you tap it up on the top, that's like your power up. So that was max power. And then if you do that, that's essentially off. And then that's minimum. There is a power button here which turns it all off, and there is an M button, but I can't get any response from that. I'm not sure what that's meant to do. I know that it does do cadence or torque monitoring for the input. So cadence would be just your pedal spinning, whereas torque would be the amount of effort that you're putting in, which is meant to be better for off-road. So maybe the M's to do with that, I'm not entirely sure. Didn't connect the brake sensors, don't know if I'm going to, but I think I'm going to wrap up the video there because that's amazing. Really had a real nice ride. You can hear the motor. You didn't notice that the bike was any heavier. And yeah, really good fun. I think Rupert's going to love it when he gets back. He's on holiday with his mum at the moment. Excuse the helicopter. So yeah, mission successful. So now to tidy up all the tools. I'll get a couple pictures for thumbnails and stuff like that. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll put another link to the electric kit down below. I had on the introduction video as well. If you haven't seen that, have a look, and we'll pick it up. We'll pick up this bike once I've got the stem and possibly some bars. I've got the forks for it, but I'm not doing them until I've got the top bit done. So for now, I'm going to say that's a wrap. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you again soon.